Over the last 2 years, Pride Toronto has been working diligently with the Toronto Police Service to attempt to not only work through the issues that were raised not only at our 2016 parade, but through our conversations with our community and our subsequent AGM. In that time, the police service and myself have spoken to the community, have consulted, and have began to work through a process of connecting and engaging with our communities. The result of that has been our board, Pride Toronto's board of directors, then took the decision that we would permit the police to contribute, to participate in our parade. They have yet to apply, but we are encouraging an application on the basis that it would obviously go through the process all of our organizations go through when applying to participate in our parade. But what we wanted to ensure is that we prioritize the work that we're doing together to find solutions to the issues that were raised, and we work in partnership by not only opening up an opportunity for the police to apply and participate in our parade, but continue ongoing work within our communities in order to progress some of the issues that you have heard raised over the last 2 years.
Let me say how happy I am, and I'll say a few words. Marching in uniform in the Pride Parade is an important event, not just to show our support for the LGBTQ plus communities, but also to the proud members of the Toronto Police Service that are within the LGBTQ plus community. And so it really means a lot to us as an organization and also as a community as a whole. And we've always said that the parade doesn't necessarily define our relationship, but it has been a point. And I'm so looking forward to working with the executive, and I want to personally thank the executive. Olivia, thank you so much for all the hard work. Standing in front of the camera really, truly doesn't represent the tremendous amount of work that is being had over the past couple of years, admitting that there has been strains within the community and the Toronto Police relationship. It is something that we have always considered to be something serious that we needed to figure out how to move forward. If we're not going to get policing proper unless we establish relationships, it's a key and important factor when we talk about modernizing. And I want to personally thank Deputy Barb McLean and Constable Danielle Batteneau for having a tremendous amount of meetings on a regular basis. And the key part was the ability of being open, of listening, of being receptive, listening to conversations, not necessarily easy conversations, very candid conversations if we're going to get it right. And that was something that was done, and I want to thank them personally, as well as all of the other things that we've put in place, whether it be the neighborhood officer programs or any of the other things. This is just a start to a much longer journey. We're not where we need to be yet, but as chief, I promise you, the Toronto Police Service will do anything and everything we can to get to where we need to be and to maintain that. I want to thank City Hall for its help and participation as well. Thank you, Mayor Tory. Collectively, we could not have got it done unless we had all entities receptive to wanting to work together. It's a sign of what Toronto is all about, and I want to thank everybody, including the community, for this opportunity.
I believe that today is a very important day for the city, and I want to say thank you first to Pride Executive Director Olivia Nuamah and to Chief Mark Saunders for being here today and for all the effort that they and their associates have put into making sure that today was a day of a very positive announcement. Olivia, you have helped to steer Pride through such an important part of its history, a difficult part of its history, but I think in some respects a necessary part of its history, and you've done it admirably, and I know that Pride will be in good hands as long as you have that responsibility. And the chief and his command, in particular Barb and Danielle, I know have been involved in lengthy meetings. There were times when people questioned whether there were in fact meetings taking place, but I know because I was inquiring and trying to be helpful wherever I could that there were constant discussions going on, really with a view to getting us to today, where we could be back announcing the next step in the ongoing relationship between Pride and the Toronto Police. And that's really what it's about. It's an ongoing relationship that evolves. Obviously, we hope in a very positive way, and the Chief, I think, and Olivia both suggested that's exactly where we're headed. Toronto is at its best when we work together. That is when we show that we're at our best. As mayor, I can say the safety of Torontonians is obviously my top priority, and I think the top priority of people who live in the city. And I think the murders and the disappearances of members of the LGBTQ community, for example, deeply shook our city and left many unanswered questions that we are really working to address now and ensure that the difficult process of healing from that and from other things that have happened over time continues. I have great confidence in Justice Gloria Epstein, for example, and the work that she's going to do and in the community-led process that led to her appointment. And I think those words, community-led process, are important. And you heard Olivia refer to the fact here there's been great consultation not just between the police and Pride, but between the police, Pride, and the communities that care about these issues very much. I've always believed that the process that's underway now will begin to unanswer some of the questions that have to be answered and begin to heal. And there are many things that need to be done in that regard, because the trust and the partnership of all of our residents with our police service is something that is fundamental to the ability of the police to do their job, but also to having the kind of healthy, respectful community that we want to have here in the City of Toronto and that we have enjoyed much of the time in the past. Last year, Pride asked the police to withdraw their application to participate in the Pride Parade, and the chief listened to that request. The chief listened to that request, and I think that was something very important too in terms of the mutual respect between Pride and the police. That's what good leaders do. They listen and they address issues in a way that reflects that listening. And since then, the police have worked with Pride and with the communities to focus on the objective of unity and restored trust and confidence. And we still have some distance to go, but I think I can say with confidence from all of my knowledge, whether it's the Epstein process or all of the other discussions that are going on, that that process of building up confidence and building up trust is well underway. This is incredibly important work, and I want to extend thanks as well to the LGBTQ2S community organizations and leadership that have taken part and continue to take part in these discussions aimed at building the most solid, trusting kind of relationship that we could possibly have, that could be and should be a model for anybody else anywhere in the world. I have tried behind the scenes to be supportive and certainly have never wavered in the fact that the City of Toronto, of course, is supportive of Pride and was supportive of the discussions, which, I'll be candid, took longer than I might have liked and that a lot of people might have liked. But in the end, you have to be patient and you have to be consultative and you have to be determined. And I think that the police service and Pride through Olivia and the community organizations have been all of those things. But we will always support Pride. It is one of the most important events that happens in our community for a whole host of reasons. But I think most importantly of all, because it is the ultimate demonstration of how we live here in an environment of trust and respect and embrace of each other. And so I will just say that I wish everybody well in the work that has really just begun and that will continue, but today is a good news day because it means we're going to have a unified Pride next year with the police back in the parade, assuming that the chief's got that application filled out on his desk and ready to send in, hopefully today, and I'm very much looking forward. I did tell him that that would carry with it the consequence that, of course, something I haven't been able to do for the last 2 years, namely to man my squirt gun to make sure that he is kept suitably cool on the day of the parade, will be something that I will be looking forward to doing next summer when we celebrate a great Pride.